Hello dear all, welcome to the session of engineering graphics. The engineering graphics, today we are going to study about the engineering curves. Let's see some application of engineering curves in engineering field. The engineering curves are used to be at an arc, be it an arc in construction in civil engineering, be it any spring in mechanical engineering, be it any component of electronics and computer engineering component. Engineering curves are used. So in every engineering field, the engineering curves are used and very important application of engineering curves. Measuring the distance, we should use the curve. On the map, we use the curve. For the navigation purpose, we use the curve. In space technology, we use the curve. In space technology, for indicating the path of the space vehicle, we use the curve. Now let's move on. What we will study in this session: classification of engineering curves, then conics, then construction and ellipse by different available method. Now let's move on to our first topic: classification of engineering curves. The engineering curves are classified as following: conics, cycloid, involute, spiral and helix, and sine and cosine curves. Each curve have a different area of application and have a different constructing method. Some curve have a similar method for constructing the curve, but that have a different parameter for constructing each curve. So every curve have a different area of application and different from each other. Now let's move on to our first topic: conics. Conics can be further classified into the following: triangle, circle, ellipse, parabola and hyperbola. First one is the triangle. Triangle is not basically curve, but in engineering graphics we should consider triangle as a curve, because even a circle have a infinite number of edges, because the circle is made from the infinite number of the line segment. But due to the infinite number of the line segment, those edges are invisible. So for that, the triangle is considered as a curve in engineering graphics. Now, accepting the triangle, the circle, ellipse, parabola and hyperbola are differentiated by an eccentricity. What is the eccentricity we will discuss, but here consider the an eccentricity for the circle is 0, an eccentricity for the ellipse is less than 1, and eccentricity for the parabola is equal to 1, and eccentricity for the hyperbola is greater than 1. Now let's move on. Why this name conics comes up? This name conics comes up because of this curve: triangle, circle, parabola, hyperbola we get these curves from the cone by putting the cutting plane. So for that, consider we have one cone, and this cone is cut by the cutting plane by putting that cutting plane at different orientation. Suppose for getting the circle, we put the cutting plane at the parallel to the base and perpendicular to the axis. So by putting that cutting plane, we will get the circle on the surface of the cone. Now for the ellipse, if we put the cutting plane on the cone in such a way that that cutting plane cut the both end generator of the cone, so by result of that we will get an ellipse on the surface of the cone. Now for the parabola, if we put the cutting plane on one of parallel to on one of its generator, by result of that we will get the parabola on the surface of the cone. Now for the hyperbola, if we put the cutting plane parallel to the parallel to the axis of the cone and perpendicular to the base, but not on the axis of the cone. By result of that cutting plane, we will get a hyperbola on the surface of the cone. Now the ellipse, parabola, hyperbola are called conics because these curves are appear on the surface of the cone when it is cut by the some typical cutting plan as per our discussion in the last slide. Now let's move on the common definition of ellipse, parabola and hyperbola. So this parabola, hyperbola and ellipse, these are the loci of points moving in a plane such that the ratio of its distance from the fixed point or focus and distance from the fixed line or directrix is constant, and this ratio is called an eccentricity. As per our discussion, for ellipse eccentricity is less than 1, for a parabola eccentricity is equal to 1, and for hyperbola eccentricity is greater than 1. If eccentricity is less than 1, then it is definitely an ellipse. So now let's move on the various method used to draw an ellipse. The ellipse can be drawn by following method: concentric circle method, arc of circle method, oblong method, by rectangle oblong method, by parallelogram, focus and directrix method, and ellipse by rhombus method. Now let's move on the first method, concentric circle method. Now what is the concentric circle? The concentric circle is that which have a same center but different radius and different diameter. So which have a different radius and different diameter but a same center, that is called the concentric circle. For now let's going to study about how to draw an ellipse by concentric circle method. Draw the let's consider this problem. Draw the ellipse by concentric circle method. Take the major axis 100 mm and minor axis 70 mm long. So in the data we have the dimension of the major axis 100 mm long and the dimension of the minor axis 70 mm long. So first of all, draw the major axis 100 mm long and then draw the minor axis in such a way that minor axis bisecting the major axis, minor axis is bisecting the major axis. Now give its name AB to the major axis and CD to the minor axis, and then draw the circle by taking the center at the intersecting point of the two axes and taking the radius C, taking the radius of the minor axis is 35 mm of the minor circle, and then again draw the outer circle by taking the radius 50 mm and taking the center of intersecting point of the major axis and minor axis. And then next step is divide these two circle into 12 equal part. Suppose I want to divide this circle into 12 equal part. So perimeter of the circle is 360 and I want to divide this circle into 12 equal part. So 360 divided by 12, we get an angle of a 1 part. So if we draw the inclined line at 30 degree, so on the periphery of the circle, so we get the 12 equal part of the inner circle and outer circle also, because those are concentric circle. Let's do like that. This is the first part, then again this is the second part, third, fourth. Now after doing the 12 equal parts, give its indication or its name, particular name. So the line above the points which above the line AB, give its name point 1, point 2, 3, 4 and point 5, and the point which are below below the line AB, give its name 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Do this numbering in clockwise manner. As give the same number in the inner circle also. So now the next step is draw the vertically downward line on the from the point of the outer circle. Now let's see the point which are above the line AB. Draw the vertically downward line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are on the above the line AB. So draw the vertically downward line from that. Then again 4, 5 and now the point which are below the line AB, draw the vertically upward line. The point 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are below the line AB. So draw the vertically upward line from the point, and then do like same as outer circle on the inner circle. So the point which are left side of the line CD, draw the horizontal line right to left. So 1, 2, 3 and 8, 9 and 10 are left side of the line CD. So draw the horizontal line from right to left. Let's do like that. Point 1, point 2 and the point which are right side of the line CD, draw the horizontal line from left to right. Okay, so point 5, 6, 7, 9 and 10. So by drawing of this line we get a different point by and give its an indication P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, PB, P6, P7, PD, P9 and P10. Let's do like that. Point 1, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, PB point, P6, P7, PD, P9 and P10, and last point is PA. By joining this all point by smooth possible curve, we get an required ellipse. Let's do like that. Join the point all this point by smooth possible curve by use of the French curve or by use of the freehand, we get an required ellipse. Okay, now let's move on the another method of the ellipse by rectangle method. For that, consider the same problem as previous problem. Now draw the ellipse by rectangle method. Take the major axis 100 mm and minor axis 70 mm. So in the data we have the major axis is 100 mm. So consider the 100 mm is the width of the rectangle and 70 mm is the height of the rectangle. So draw the rectangle of 100 by 17. Okay, now only consider the left upper part of the rectangle. Okay, so the vertically small side and consider the vertically smaller side and vertically down side. Divide this smaller side and vertically smaller side and horizontal long side into the equal part. Here we divide into the 4 part. So divide into the 4 part of vertically small side and then divide into the 4 part of horizontal small side. Now join 1 to D, 2 to D point, 3 to D point. Okay, now the next step, draw the line from the point C which is passed through the point A, point 1, and cut the line 1 to D. So again from the point C, draw the line such that is passed through the point 2 and cut the line 2 to D. Again draw the line from the point 3 which is cut to the line 3 to D. So we will get the point A, point 1, 2, 3 and point D. Join this curve, we will get the first quadrant and portion of ellipse. Now again considering the right upper part of the ellipse, do the same procedure at the left upper part of the ellipse. Divide into the fourth part of the small vertical side and divide into the fourth part in the right horizontal long side. So do the same procedure as the left upper part of the rectangle. We will get the this point B, point 3 and point 2 and point 1. Join this point by the smooth possible curve. By use of French curve we get an ellipse and half portion of the ellipse. Now for the below the AB line, do the same procedure as above the line AB done by me. Okay, now so we will get the full ellipse by rectangle method. Now let's move on the ellipse by rhombus method. This is the so simple method of the ellipse. Now draw the rhombus of 100 mm and 70 mm long diameter and inscribe an ellipse in it. So consider the dimension of the rhombus 100 mm as a major axis and 70 mm as a minor axis. So first of all, draw the rhombus of 100 and 70 mm. So after drawing that rhombus, mark the midpoint of all sides and name those A, B and C and D. Join this point on the end of the smaller diagonal. So or join this point on the opposite corner point. So join the point AB to opposite corner or smaller end diagonal, we can say also that. Okay, now join the point C and D on the opposite corner. So we get the four center of the rhombus: center 1, center 2, center 3 and center 4. Now taking the center 1 and take the radius 1 to A, draw an arc which is between the A and B. Now again take the center 2 and same procedure, take the center 2 and take the radius 2 to C and 2 to D. We get an arc. Then again take the center 3 and take the radius 3 to A. Again take the center 4 and take the radius 4 to B. We will get an ellipse. Thank you.